Hello, good afternoon, blessings, and welcome to the Witch's Broom channel. Okay, this is actually an upload that I am going live from my main channel that is now blacklisted. So some of you guys are probably seeing this on the Witch's Broom channel. So I wanted to come and talk to y'all about the scam artists that are in the business, and trust me, they are affecting everybody. Okay, not just you, but even authentic workers. Okay, even those of us that are authentic. Okay, and we talked about this. Hey, one EQL. We talked briefly about this, about scam artists. And the thing of it is that when it comes to an authentic witch, she shouldn't have to prove to you that she has a husband or a man, because that's not, yeah, no. Okay. In fact, it's best to be professional, as we've all found out, and I've even found out. the hard way when it comes to business, because what you want is somebody that is knowledgeable, somebody that is authentic, and somebody that is not afraid to do the work. All that other stuff does not matter, you know? And so, with so many men in the spiritual business as well, which is fine and dandy and okay, but the thing of it is that, in today's society, um, and I guess the more mature you get, and as you experience life, and the more experienced and seasoned that you get, you realize that, especially if you are single, that men are not an essential, but your spiritual work is essential. And, it's one of those pink elephants in the room that we don't want to pay any attention to. The harm that patriarchal religions have done to all of us to control our minds and to control the minds of men. I think that men, if they didn't allow it to control their mind, it would be okay. But since they do, and there's such buttholes about it, a lot of the times, it's difficult. So, um, you know, anyway, the point is that I wanted to make is that authentic spiritual work is not cheap. If you've been needing spiritual work for at least the past 3 years, the workings that you're going to need, they're going to run you upwards to $2,000 to $5,000, and that's the truth about it. Okay, and there's no getting around it. A lot of y'all will run across these websites, and it'll seem like a good deal, and your need to choose the cheapest thing going leads you to not getting any results. Okay, and there's a constant debate, not about whether or not witchcraft is authentic or that it exists, but that it's forbidden and you shouldn't use it. So a lot of people can scam you and they don't have any feelings about it. It's just a way of making a passive income, you know? Now, scam artists are hurting people every single day. As an authentic witch, I can have problems just like the next person. It's called life. The only difference is that I handle those problems differently. And typically, I do have a different or better outcome than most, because I work with my ancestors a lot and they do a lot for me. Okay. And a lot of y'all that contact me about your man, you having issues with your man, you know, um, I mean, of course you're having issues with your man. It's a man, you know, it's kind of set up that way. Okay. I'm not trying to speak for everybody, but in my opinion, men are a scam. So honestly, I don't even like doing work for people that involves a man. I'd rather teach you magic. I'd rather do work. I'd rather help you on other stuff. I don't even advertise love, work, and all that. I encourage you to work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And I don't advertise love spells and the love is supposed to already be there. The problem is that a lot of men are not taught to actually know what's wrong with them spiritually. And whenever you see a lot of people talking about, oh, it's an energy shift, men are running from it and hiding from it and scared of it. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay. When you hear about like these shifts and stuff, and the men that you hear talking about it, they're lucky enough to know about it, but a lot of men are ignorant. And, not talking about them, it's just a fact that they're ignorant to the stuff that they do. And as a woman, you know, see, the difference is between men and women is that, and usually, this is where majority is going to win, usually and only, is when you're looking at what men do to women is far more horrible. We know that women do it too because they want to be men sometimes. But what I'm saying is that, men usually do more. All a woman has to do is question them or argue with them and ask them for some kind of necessary or needed change. And when you ask them for that, they can react like buttholes. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and of course, men take it for granted that they are given privilege in our society, and a lot of them know it. And some of the ones that know it will try to take advantage of that. Okay. And that includes in the spiritual business. In fact, I'm being attacked right now by a man. I don't know why. Yeah. So it's just one of those things, guys, Unfortunately, it's a unreal side effect of this world that sucks. And, nobody right now is being encouraged to do the right thing. Everybody is being told to do exactly the opposite of what's good for them for the most part. Okay, especially when you look at the witchy community, especially when you see scam artists doing lies and deceit. So, I've been through that, okay? Yeah. So anywho, authentic work is not cheap. It's not, especially when you're dealing with energy harvesting, gang stalking, spiritual abuse. I call, okay, so some of the scam artists do know a lot and they can do a lot of harm. And one of the reasons why they're doing that is because they're spiritual abusers. They want to spiritual abuse people. Okay. So, it's just one of those things. Anyway, you can expect to pay, um, thousands of dollars for spiritual work. It's worth it, especially some of the circumstances and situations that y'all be in. Okay. And I'm gonna like forego any love work probably permanently, honestly, because okay, test. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Somebody had called my phone. I still need to, I haven't had time. I need to call and get this phone number changed. That's what I need to do. So I know one thing, you know, because basically what you're fighting when it comes to what you're fighting your man over is misogyny and fear, which is a principality, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So it's rarely even a person, you know? Anyway, kind of knew it was going to be a rough ride when we noticed that men were attacking single mothers and stuff like that, or mothers, you know. Yeah. I think a lot of them lost their soul, you know, soulless. Okay. So, and there's a soul retrieval that you can do for them to get it back, you know. Like I told y'all, it's almost like a zombie apocalypse. It's so weird. So anyway, y'all will be okay. Just kind of try to be patient with yourself, you know. But I can tell you that if you don't have the money to get quality spiritual work, just leave it alone. Don't ever go to nobody thinking that all your problems are going to be solved for $300 or $100. Please stop. Not unless they give you supplies and instruction, which could take hours, and that's still going to cost more than 300. Nobody's going to teach you how to use the craft for $300. You know, you just saying. So if you don't have all of the money, just don't touch it then, if that's the case, you know, or either just, you know, take a class, you know, that you can afford so you can learn as much as possible. Okay. So that's a way to find out if somebody's scamming is if they don't charge enough for their stuff. Because as far as they're concerned, they're not harming anybody. But a lot of these scam artists, they'll go and they will have websites connected to a reader's readings, you know, which is kind of the reason why I don't like doing readings no more. Okay. Yeah, because they'll have a website and then, you know, and they'll just have money flowing in. Oh, you can get this High Priestess Jamila for $20. And they, you know, they have a bunch of people do that. And then, yeah. So y'all catch my drift, right? So that's how they can affect readers. But you cannot get my services at any other website except for the hyperlink. You have to look at the hyperlinks. So that's just like if you trying to get something through SunTrust and their website address is www.suntrust.com, and somebody contacts you and says, "Hey, I'm with suntrust.net," and yes, that's me, and it's like, what? You know. So that's just what that is, okay? So you can only get my workings through the website address. I am operating under no other website address or Cash App. My Cash App is $ Jamila Briscoe, and there is another $ Jamila Briscoe on Cash App. I saw it like last week, but you know who I am judging by the picture. And I may even change my picture to my logo, okay, which is purple, okay, for now, until I get it, squared away. So, yeah, and I'm not saying that the other Jamila Briscoe is a scammer. I'm not saying that, but, it happens to us spiritualists. And that being said, a lot of us can lose money and we can go through problems just like anybody else if we were to lose money because somebody is scamming under our name or something like that, or attacking us online or reputation. Yeah. Okay. I know I can't wait. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't wait until I sell my mother's home. Give me a nice little nest egg. So yeah, and that is something I always said. If I had $1 billion or $1 million, I would give half of it away because I would. I'm a working person. Well, not half of it away, but I give a good chunk of it away. Okay. Girl, I ain't even thinking about that mess. I am not even thinking about that mess. Trust me. I wasn't even really thinking about that this morning and had stuff coming in my inbox. I'm like, wait a minute, what it yeah, but yeah, that's funny. Hmm. Yeah, so anyway, that's just that's just how it is. And I think that people know when they do have an authentic spiritualist that also has love for people and that does right by people. And that's why people are always willing to take care of us and make sure that we good. Oh God, yeah. I don't think about that person all the time at all. I used to, but that has changed. And a lot of y'all do have to get these bad men off your mind. You got to quit thinking about them because you never know, they might be possessed. Rebuke their asses. Yeah, definitely rebuke bad men and their bad energy, because nobody has an excuse to be that way these days. you know, yeah. Speak of the devil, one EQL. Speak of the devil. You know what I'm saying? And that's definitely a devil you talking about. Hmm. And that's definitely the type of man that he is exactly what type of cases I'm taking. But you can't always expect them to be fixed with that. You got to work on yourself. So I'm thinking about not even, yeah, no. Or either I can teach you the techniques that I know, but a man that you have to constantly be doing work on and he's refusing to be right, gotta cut him off. Okay. So sometimes I will tell you, man, let that go, because you're gonna drag yourself down trying to help. And I know we feel a strong connection, even if it's a karmic, even if it's somebody from your past life. If they're purposely trying to sabotage you, yeah, bye. Yeah, no. Yeah. Because, I mean, we're post pandemic. A lot of us are trying to recover from the pandemic. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody has time for that type of behavior. And, it's serious. People, yeah. A lot of the stuff that men do, they don't deserve your love. They deserve to be beheaded. Not in an actual, not actually beheaded. I'm not evil like that, but hey, you can't let these men destroy your life. Yeah, no, stop doing that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Y'all come to me with some love work, I'm gonna say, hey, I'll be happy to help you with some self-love work. And that's gonna include healing, unblockers, um, and maybe even some past life regression work. No, I think that you should work on what you feel comfortable with. But for me, I feel like if spirit brings me a case and I'm gonna take the money, especially if it's not no fuck shit, and I'll handle it. We'll handle it. So now there's certain things that I don't do. I don't be messing around with no abortion cases and stuff like that. No, no, you know. Bindings, death magic. Yeah, I got a wonderful binding over here that I did. I'm going to show it to y'all too. I'm quite proud of my spirits for this. Okay. And my spirits, it looks kind of funny. It looks kind of funny, but it's my spirits. Okay. It's a binding, an enemy binding. And that's actually a rose of Jericho, a dried up rose of Jericho. Obviously works like a charm. Okay. So that's my grandmama. And this is some vertiver that I put around it. I'm gonna take some black cord and bind that up too, so it's not just all over the place. So, you know, yeah, it's very necessary. Otherwise, you'll just keep having unfair things. With women, we have to deal with misogyny. As a black woman, you have to deal with misogyny and racism. Spiritual work can help you with that. I had to get away from that man, no girl. If you ever see a black man practicing racist magic, uh, oh no, buddy. Oh no, 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 no. That's the opposite of self-love. You don't want to be dealing with nobody like that. And tell them to figure it out because they can affect you in a very, 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 very negative way to the point where you will have calamities in your life. And let's keep it a buck. Many of us, especially me, y'all know that lady that I was talking about, that I've been talking about. I ain't gonna call her name out, but a few years back when she was having trouble, the good in me, the person that's always willing to help, was thinking, well, shit, she can come and stay with me. I honestly thought that I would let her live with me if she needed somewhere to live. And so, when I do dark workings on people, I don't do dark workings to cause them to die or to put them in bad situations like probably what she does, you know. But it's hard, especially if somebody's obsessed with you, like completely obsessed, and they won't let it go, and you try to do things for them to let it go, but they just keep going. Just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I'll do some work for you to just let it go and forget. Like, oh, ain't you supposed to be a plight on destroying Jamila? Oh, I forgot. No. I'll get some of that damn rosemary, make that shit work in reverse. But I'm not gonna do a curse on somebody, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm always blessed. That, you know what I'm saying? Whether or not I'm Luciferian or whatever, pagan, which what I would consider myself to be pagan, pagan and neo Luciferian. Okay, which means that I take some of the philosophies, but not all of them, and I don't go by the letter with it. It's pretty much what neo means. Okay, so I'm eager to teach a lot of y'all magic, but there's a whole hour lecture. Oh, yeah, I have a lesson plan. There's a whole hour lecture on why you should not use your power frivolously. And a lot of times with these men, you are using your power for frivolously. And, so that's something that sometimes you can reverse. Hey, let me reverse this. Let me undo this. Because, yeah, I don't want what you got going on. Okay, so be careful binding yourself and tying yourself to some of these people that you shouldn't be. Okay, and sometimes you just got to face the music that this person is harmful to you and they don't mean you no good. And, and it's crazy because why do they always have to make the bridge? They always have to, a lot of these men always have to they have to set the bridge on fire. They can't just walk away, without trying to do harm to you. So, you know, and I've been telling y'all a lot of good stuff. Like, for example, don't get, be careful what you agree with when you're in large groups of people, because you never know what you're agreeing to. It could curse you. So you want to cleanse yourself. Hey, anything that my loose lips may have said, I want forgiveness. I want to transmute it because I was in the witness of others and I was speaking negatively about someone that I shouldn't have been. So that's another thing, that's when you look at the Ten of Swords, sometimes that happens. Or either the Ten of Wands, you'll be sitting there speaking against somebody and you don't realize that your words are spells. Okay. Okay. Y'all heard me? So you get a whole hour lecture when you take my classes about that within itself. Now, somebody do something to hurt your children, I'm talking about they have an intent to do harm. There are some of us with discernment to where we speak from an intent to bring enlightenment. And when you're speaking from that intent and you're not coming from a place where you actually want to just harm people, that's where your blessings are going to come in, because you're trying to, if you're speaking to somebody and you're trying to get them to wake up and enlighten them, and especially if they've done harm to you, said and did horrible things with an intent to do harm, your intention is every damn thing. Oh my God. So you get a lot of good information so that you can take witchcraft and actually use it to make your life better, to bless your life. It ain't about manipulating other people. Okay. It's not about that. And we don't have a buyer's remorse over here. You're never going to be remorseful or regretful. Buyer's remorse, nah, that's why I don't have kickbacks and chargebacks. If at all, it's rare. In the past 10 years that I've been in business, I've only had 3, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal to only have 3 chargebacks. So that'll tell you something, that, my spirits guide you and carry you. And you end up in a place of like, and you'll be thinking to yourself, that witch I went to was right. Years ago, I went to a witch back in Kansas City, and she told me some stuff. And, you know, she told me some stuff that I didn't realize was even correct. I told her some stuff that one of these men was doing, and she said, "Oh no, honey, leave him alone. Leave him alone." She had an Italian kind of twang. She said, "He's crazy. You leave him alone." And she's right. If so, if you done binded yourself to a crazy person, a binding and a domination working is 2 different things. But if you have a binding to that person, oh, you better unbind yourself. Okay, you be feeling all kind of crazy and having all kind of crazy stuff happening. And I have a binding out of this world, but if it's time to undo it, it's time to undo it. To where you'll be 2 separate birds going flying your own way. You know what I'm saying? Hey, no shade to him, no shade to you. You got to be sure that that person is even ready for all of that. You don't have to. And there's a specific jar that I do. I'm gonna show y'all too. I feel good that I can do show and tell for y'all. That is what is up. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna show y'all one of my love bindings real quick. Okay. Give me a second though. I'm gonna show y'all something very interesting today. Okay, give me a second, y'all. This smells good too. This one jar, y'all gonna love it whenever y'all receive it. You can open it if you want, but it smells so good. It smells amazing. Mm-mm-mm. You open up this jar and it don't even look like it smells good, but it smells amazing. All right, let me show y'all what I'm talking about. So this right here is a love binding, believe it or not. I know y'all like, what the hell is that? And basically that's what it does is it binds the person to you to the, there's, I mean, it can already be a connection, but damn, this jar, this jar keeps you connected to the person, mind, body, and soul. This ain't no damn joke right here. And we got some feathers here. I'm not going to specify which ones, but you can see down in there. There's well, first of all, a love seal, but it's basically both of your pictures is in here, and when it's time to undo this jar, oops, I didn't mean to show all that, but when it's time to do that jar, undo it. When it's time to undo that shit, undo it. Set them free too. You know, but this a bad mamma jamma right here. Have them thinking about you 24/7. But if it's turned toxic, then you want to let that go because it could drive them crazy, and you don't want, yeah. And if you're done with it, so this jar right here, let me show y'all real quick. I meant to take that out. And this jar is even more powerful. If it's a picture of you and the person, and I'm talking about bind. I'm talking about bind it, bind it, bind it. God dang. But what you can do is if there's how I disassemble this jar is I break the seal on it to let the energies go. And if some of y'all have a picture with the person, some of y'all don't. If you have a picture, it makes it more powerful. But I take their photograph out, burn it, say, hey, time to let this go, blah 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 blah. And if there's a photograph of the two of you, I rip it apart and burn it. And but you can't really see down in there, but there's some sugarcane syrup, there's a cat bone, and there's a couple of stones, very helpful stones. It's some sodalite in here, some lapis lazuli. Even though it's kind of covered, you can't really see what that is down in there. And a couple of herbs, a pinch or two of herb. And then it has the love seal. And so I burned the love seal as well, but it's still it turns itself into a self-love jar, okay, eternal, self-love. And so you can actually use this jar after, if you've decided to let that situation go. If you've decided that, then you can still keep this and meditate with it and clear it of the previous intent, and then it becomes a self-love jar to where you only see yourself, and you can heal yourself with this too. This is a really good jar that has multiple purposes, okay? And once you have to undo some love work, so and instead of putting well, you can put the feathers back in there, but they have different, these feathers have different um you know what are these, a bald eagle feathers is what they are. And they have different magical properties, but then also feathers within itself, it's a symbolism of freedom. Okay, you can free yourself, free the person. I'm free, you free. We go our own separate ways, and I'm gonna go and bless my life. Because this relationship was a goddamn curse. Okay, so you know. Mm-hmm. Anywho, so I would say that a lot of y'all will frivolously go and get things done too, is another thing, but you don't ever undo it. You don't ever reverse it. You got to reverse that stuff, and you can just, I usually show you how to do it. You just take some incense or either a blunt, a cigar smoke, and you just clear it of the previous intents, and you state your intent in it. This is a self-love jar. This is me giving everything that I need to myself. Everything. Okay, money, self-love, and the feathers are really good because it'll stop that relationship from hindering you, because I don't know why people feel the need to make breakups so messy. On it, and I don't understand it, but it happens. So you don't need another. Yeah. Oh, girl, yes. In fact, some people that you may partner up with, whether or not it's a sexual partner or a business partner or a romantic partner, if they going through if they have a foul intent towards you, you got to make it anyway. You can't let stuff like that destroy your life, because it'll be almost like a funeral. Like, wait a minute, nobody died. Why so serious? Why so serious? Why so angry? If it's time to let it go, it's time to let it go. And if they don't want to let you go or let it go, it's not that they don't want to let you go, but some of them just want to use you and abuse you. It just is what it is. And that doesn't make you any more or less valuable. And that's on both sides of the coin. Because there are men that do everything right and the woman don't appreciate it, and vice versa. When it comes to women, I can only speak from my perspective, because I'm a woman, but I can totally understand, when men are going through those motions as well that women go through. But the thing of it is, where men have an issue is that a lot of men have these internet porn addictions, and so this is, they don't realize that the company that they keep, and then so I think that that definitely has an effect. Okay, and anyway, but so I prefer to help people that are either um, um having problems, in their current relationship. And I found, even when I've been in third party, that I was just helping. I was, what I'm saying, sometimes, and it's fine. It's like, bye, gotta go. The witch gotta go. Um, but I mainly like to help people with their past life regressions, money, success, self healing, and healing yourself. So, and of course, the uncrossings and stuff, and then fertility work. Otherwise, that whole love thing, yeah, because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And that is one of the true statements. If you have to put a bunch of love dominations and stuff on a man as well, that aren't coming natural from the relationship and your spirits, 9 times out of 10, that person is going to, it's temporary. Okay. It's just a temporary thing. If you've got to do all that, it's very temporary, obviously. And it's kind of like, I guess, one of those situations where both parties are going to get all they can and part ways. Okay. The problem is that usually, and I found for me, for them to, seriously have it out for me and be wishing curses on me, wishing it on me, after they done used me up. So whatever. Okay. I think it's that moment where you take your power back from a person. So maybe the rules that need to be set is to not deal with a person that's codependent, find somebody that's really independent is the best thing for you to do, if you know what I mean and catch my drift. you know, I think I'm gonna catch me an afternoon movie. I think I'm gonna watch Meet the Parents. Rosala and um, Greg's father. They had such a cute relationship. I always imagine me and my husband eventually, you know, being old together and coming into each other's lives later. Yeah, you can come into love just like you can come into money later on in life. It doesn't matter if whether or not you have 20 years with that person, 30 or 40. Hell, it might help you live longer if you meet the one in your 40s. You never know. So a lot of people, they such in a hurry to do things when they're young. But older people need to realize that, yeah, you can have love in your life, and that it's gonna happen. So a lot of people have given up, especially a lot of people watching this channel. I've noticed that when I do readings about new lovers, or the one, who is the one, people are not interested in that. But that's just because this channel is this channel's, it's a bunch of people over here that are not connected with the algorithms of this channel. Okay. Yeah, which is strange. Okay. Strange and unusual, but not that, because I do have people that just can't get over me. Goodness gracious. That's probably because my energy is so valuable. They're not gonna tell you. That's typically what parasitic people do, or either the energy vampires or harvesters. They always got to tell the person that they ain't shit, but after a while they keep doing that over and over again. Obviously you must want something. What is it? And that's what it is. So and the goofer working is good for that. A lot of people think goofer is about killing somebody. No, it's actually about killing their demons. And if you kill a person's demons, they gonna be pissed, because that demon was sustaining them while they were feeding off of you. And maybe that person, don't know how to stand on their own. It's getting a person out of your energy. You just go and, okay, fine, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm disgusting. Okay, just go. Yeah. I sucked a dick. Yeah. Yeah, lady. Go. You know what I'm saying? And it just is what it is. And like I said, y'all need to sub to the Witches Broom channel, because um they will try to eliminate as many people from your life as possible, even your goddamn ancestors. And they will think of anything and everything, go all around the block, instead of somehow unlocking their own potential, which I guess the older that you get, that must get harder the older that you get. I'm glad I did it when I was still in my 30s, or either barely in my 40s. I'm glad I did it then, because it must get harder the older you get, evidently, right? Because why you go through all that binding my ancestors, what the, instead of just, so you could feed off of me energetically, because your ancestors are going to protect you from stuff like that. Okay, they are. So, just like, when it comes to your mother, your father, your grandfather, your grandmother, they're the ones that kept you alive. They didn't starve you to death. Either they gave you food and shelter, or either they went further, gave you food, shelter, love, and wisdom. That's like the four essentials of life, in this jungle of a world that we live in. So, that's why it's very important. And especially if you got a situation of bad situation going on, you got to be able to call to your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? So your spiritualist should know how to reach your ancestors. Okay, and so should you. So, they'll save you from death and destruction. Absolutely. I always go to my grandma, look at her. I love my grandma. This is not a good picture of her. This was when she was older and sick. And she asked me the other night, she said, Shawnee, why you won't get a picture of me when I was younger? But she's a bad mama jamma. She was kicking ass for me, kicking total ass because she loves me. And somebody called her a demon once. I said, good, I'm glad you think my grandma is a demon. Shit, that let me know she doing her job. Right, right. Mm, your ancestors are not supposed to punish you for making a mistake, though. With your ancestors, they're supposed to give you unconditional love. So, and I hear what you're saying, one EQL, but like my grandmother, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter what mistake that I make, meaning, for example, getting with the wrong man. She got my back no matter what. She don't care about that nigga. She gonna do what she gotta do for me anyway. Ain't no man gonna sit up there and do that. She ain't gonna let him do it. Okay. And specifically, for example, for some reason, the last man I dealt with, he just wanted me to be homeless. I don't know what the bizarre. And my grandma gonna come and say, no, my grandma used to say that too. She was a trip, an Aquarius, very powerful Aquarius, very powerful psychic. Okay. She just, she don't like when I show this picture, so I'm gonna turn off the camera because she wants me to print out. So yeah, if you mess up and go with the wrong man or go with the wrong crowd, like if you kick it, let me give you an example, one EQL. If you hung out with the wrong damn crowd and that crowd planned on killing you, they was literally plotting your murder. Your ancestors, if they are there, if they are there, sweetie pie, they gonna make sure that shit don't happen. But you gotta make sure they are there. That's why a lot of people wear a locket with their aunts with their favorite ancestors picture in it. Oh yeah. You can have some bad people, and what are we gonna say that but bad people that mean to do people harm, they're just inherently evil. And yeah, yeah, their ancestors, I think. Here's what I think of that. It depends on the ancestors. I have ran into people who have very malicious ancestors that are willing to do anything for them, right? With and so those ancestors sometimes they have to be locked away. And you will see it happen whenever you're working with these deities or God. Okay. And you'll see that happening, and they won't be able to reach those ancestors again because those ancestors were doing dirty business, dirty, stuff that was low down and fucking dirty. and they were protecting them even when they was fucking wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about wrong to where it's like, well, you ain't got like what I do to you, like what the fuck, like wow, yeah, no, yeah, no, no, no. Okay, so it's I feel like your triad, your triangle, and you can be either on the left or the right of the triangle, but I believe that it's you, it's your ancestors, and then it's God, and it's that energy. It's a triangle, okay, which is basic alchemy. And then sometimes it can be a square or a diamond, which is 4 points. You know what I'm saying? For me, the number 3 and the number 4 resonate with me. 4 points or 3 points, or even sometimes 5 points. So it is all about that alchemy of, that, you know, and what you work with. Some of y'all have a triangle, which is you, your ancestors, a deity, and then God, the source. Mhm. Some of y'all have a pentagram, which is you, your ancestors, a deity, two deities, and God force, right? So, it depends on how you look at stuff. Okay. And, learning the actual, and having a deep level of understanding, and being disciplined at it, like for example, especially if you have, a situation going on, getting up and invoking your power and then your ancestors' power, contacting them if you can't feel their presence. Because my grandmother has a amazing healing energy in herself, and I was surprised that she didn't heal herself when she got sick. But I think that I'm not going to discuss all of my grandmother's secrets as far as why she would make a decision to be here in spirit as opposed to actually being here. So, and it ain't nothing wrong with very, very, very old people, because I'd have kept her forever. That was a wonderful lady. Just being in her presence was so peaceful and calming and fun at the same time. My grandma was fun and she made you laugh. And I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm a Cancer. So, because you never see them people. This person is 500 years old. And people be like, damn, that person, oh, why don't they go on and die? Yeah. And I cherish very, very, very old things. I'm like, shoot, I'm like, hey, who is that? So but she left, but she didn't actually leave. So some of y'all gotta summon your own power, then your ancestor power, then your deity power, and then you go all the way from the bottom to the top. So it's even when you call the corners, which is a diamond, and a pentagram, and a it goes in different directions. It's just moving. And when you call in the corners and stuff, your north, south, east, west in spirit, you really can't go wrong. And so and even when you are doing a ritual, you can either call the energy from above down first, or either the energy from below, which is the root chakra, up. So this is the kundalini, and so doing a ritual is a very, very complex process that should not be taken for granted. Different people do it in different ways. I know that I am an eclectic witch, but I draw a lot of inspiration from paganism as well as Wiccan. But then also, when it comes to the understanding of the north, south, east, and the west, then, that can apply to even, when you are, because I think everybody in this world practices, Satanism. They just don't want to admit it. You know what I'm saying? And people have to do it at different times, which is really Satanism to me. My definition is reaching down in the root chakra so far down there that it's almost animalistic, primal, right? It's a primal energy. And this is the energy derived from the need or the desire to survive something, and having to go there to make sure that your will is done ultimately, and that you covering all damn bases. Okay. That's what that is. Because a lot of people will talk to you as if you just supposed to lay down and damn die for them, and they want you to. Mm-mm. Well, I got a family. Oh, your family ain't worth shit. Your kids ain't worth shit. Just die. Uh, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Hell, Satan. That's I. Which is ultimately what a witch is about. A lot of witches will steer clear of that, but a lot more than you think. If they have to, they will go there. And it ain't about no damn death magic. It's about surviving and getting yours at the end of the day, making sure that you are stable and secure, and that your damn root chakra is planted and anchored. So you can't just run around here just on some flimsy flim flam shit now. And a lot of y'all be on flim flam flimsy. Even some of y'all with money. Even some of y'all that have money be on some flimsy. Okay? Flapjack, cracker jack, jack in the damn box. Y'all remember them jack in the boxes? That toy that you wind up and then something pop up and scare the shit out of you. Oh, Lord have mercy. That I think those toys are great for kids because it teaches them to face their fears. But it's got to be age appropriate. You don't want to let a little baby play with a jack in the box. You gotta wait till they get a little older. Y'all, do you know what I'm saying? Okay. So, anywho. But yeah, you're right, one EQL, because I mean, you know what, one EQL, I'm gonna call you, and when I get off of here too, I want to talk to you, sweetie, okay? Because I got a little bit of time. Oh, it's 1:39. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go, y'all. I will see y'all later. Some of y'all do need to summon y'all ancestors, though. It'll clear up a lot of y'all problems and give you a fighting chance. You know what I'm saying? To where, sometimes if you got to play the game of life or Monopoly, you pull that chance card, and they will make the luck happen to you. You know what I'm saying? And so definitely don't steer away from your ancestors. But a lot of you guys had problems with your parents and then even your grandparents. But you got to go back, back, even outside of your DNA to find your ancestors. Okay? If your bloodline is cursed, this is what I always tell people. And I have to remind people, that's why y'all got to take notes sometimes. Shit. If your bloodline is cursed and shit, you got to go way back, shit, maybe even to the star seeds. Maybe you need to contact the spiral galaxy, Andromeda and shit. You might have to go back to your alien connection or either some other connection that is an ancestor that you would consider an ancestor. You know that I consider Lord Ganesha and Lakshmi an ancestor. So even if I didn't have ancestors, I would more so look at Lord Ganesha, Lakshmi, Vishnu, Kali Ma, Brahma. All of those to me are ancestors, believe it or not. So even if I didn't have ancestors, because they'll sort of adopt you. Okay. And a lot of people think that and it is considered to be Hinduism, but these are gods. People labeled them as falling under Hinduism for labels, but these are just gods that may contact you. And when you in contact with them and you work with them, they really gonna do some stuff for you. But I think also when it comes to your ancestors, if your ancestors are in trouble, which is why we burn the ancestor money to help them, then I think that you have to understand that that needs to be done as well. Okay. And it doesn't necessarily have to be all the time. Usually, the only time you have to do that is during the solstices. But some people have to work with their ancestors every day. And depending on what your spiritual plan is that's going to help you, you'll be given that instruction. Some of y'all, I'll tell you, hey, contact your ancestors every day for at least 5 minutes to an hour. Okay, put them out an offering, put their picture up, light a white candle. You'd be surprised at how they will be so helpful. Okay. All right, guys, I gotta go. I hope that this helps some of y'all. I will see y'all later. Um, y'all have a good day. Blessings. Bye bye.